actors Lloyd Gerber and Martin Bergen, comedian Jake Johansson, sportscaster Fred Rogan, plus Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
We are back. Okay, my first guests tonight are, people say there are no cowboys. There are real working cowboys, ladies and gentlemen, but there are also poets who attended the Cowboy Poetry Gathering in Elko, Nevada last week. Martin Bergen has been a working cowboy or a rodeo rider for the past 20 years, has been a saddle maker. I didn't know they did that anymore. In Overland, Missouri, Lloyd Gerber spent his youth on a ranch in Carbon County, Utah. Now lives in Eagle, Idaho, famous for its Rocky Mountain Oyster Festival. Ah, yummy, yummy, yummy. Would you welcome? Woo! Another order here. Martin Bergen and rare this time. Martin Bergen and Lloyd Gerber. Nice to have you guys with us tonight. Thanks for coming. They kind of, when I said Rocky Mountain Oyster Festival, some people were familiar with Rocky Mountain oysters, and some weren't. That's quite a delicacy here and there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
Tastes good.
Real good.
Can we tell the people what Rocky Mountain oysters are?
Sure, go ahead.
No, you tell them. No. Well, you could probably explain it in better terms than I could.
More clinically.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's left over after you change a bull into a steer.
Got that, folks? That's what they are. Yeah. We had two compatriots of yours on the show a few weeks ago. Their names were Carlos Ashley from Texas and Baxter Black, who turned out to be a veterinarian. Now, you fellows do some of your own doctoring, I guess, or have to when you're out working, right?
Yeah, working cowboys do a lot of range doctoring.
Yeah.
And it gets you into a lot of jackpots sometimes.
Yeah.
Some pretty tough spots.
What kind of stuff would you do?
Oh, well, this spring I got into kind of a jackpot trying to worm a buffalo. We were...
Worm
a buffalo.
a buffalo.
I was down
That's been one of my lifelong ambitions, is to worm a buffalo, can you? Now, for the people who don't understand what that means, maybe we ought to explain that, too.
Well, I was down in an old boy's outfit this spring and helping with the calf branding. And we branded out all these calves and doctored them all up. And he had 60 or 70 head of mama cows up in the pen that he decided we ought to worm. And the way you worm these rascals is you lip them down to open their mouth and stick a worm gun down their throat. And he had this buffalo that got to be the ugliest buffalo that God ever made. And she didn't want to be up in this pen to begin with. And old Eldon decided that we ought to worm this buffalo, and I told him that I didn't really think we wanted to worm a buffalo.
Yeah.
But he said it had to be done. So we wormed out all the mama cows first. And another old boy named Bill Bartmartle, he run this buffalo up into this little runaround chute. And the buffalo was not happy.
Understandable.
It came up to the chute. Now, these chutes that you work them in are squeeze chutes, and they're made out of 2-inch pipe with steel. And they've got two levers on them. One squeezes him from the side, and the other one locks his head.
That's just to restrain them.
Restrain him, and they're going to lock this buffalo in this chute, and I was going to lift it up and worm it. That sucker come through there like a freight train.
Yep.
Two old boys that pulled on those chute levers, it threw them about 10 foot through the air. Swing open, warped me up against the side of the pen. The buffalo didn't even slow down. Jumped the fence, and as it was disappearing over the hill, old Eldon said, "You know, Martin, you're right. That buffalo really didn't need worming at all."
That's funny. That's tough work. Who's the saddle maker?
I am.
You're the saddle maker. I didn't know people made saddles anymore. I thought that was factory stuff.
Well, most of the factories or saddles that you see nowadays are factory made, that you see in the tack rooms and the pleasure riders.
Right.
But working cowboys still want handmade, custom-made saddles.
You know, Lloyd, you lived on a ranch that was really out, you know, as they say, the boonies or the boondocks, right?
I didn't live on it. We lived in town, but we had the ranch. It took 2 days to get to it. My mother and sisters never did see it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You had to pack all your supplies in, I understand, everything?
It was a real commute.
With mules, somebody said.
Yeah. Yeah, we packed everything down with mules. Everything we used and ate.
Yeah. Mules are about as stubborn an animal as there is, right?
Oh, ours weren't so stubborn. We had good luck with them. Our problem was what we packed sometimes. We don't ever pack animals.
Yeah. Next to worming a buffalo, don't...
Cats are particularly bad because they get out of the pack, and then the horse with the mule...
You pack cats in on mules, you mean?
You can't do it, but I didn't know that.
Oh.
We packed some chickens in once, and we put them
Pack
on.
chickens on a mule.
Yeah, 16 laying hens. We needed eggs down there.
Yeah.
So we put this cage of chickens on top of the mares. She had a real good gait, and we knew she'd do it, and we had 4 head of mules in front of her, and off we went. Well, the mare never got going fast enough to get on her smooth gait.
Yeah.
So it was like this, and those chickens were going like as if you were in the back of a pickup truck with nothing to hang on to, you know, just going here and there. They were squawking and feathers flying. By the time we got the first, camped out the first night, 3 of them were dead. And the rest of them looked like that's what they were planning on.
Okay, let's get to your quartet. Fine. Okay. Martin, you're going to start off with a poem?
Well, I reckon I could start off with one called Roni's Sister.
Roni's Sister.
And it kind of goes like this. Now, you've heard of old Roni and the old Bosky steer, but have you heard of his sister, the fetching Lanier? She chews tobacco and she packs a long rope. She don't change her outfit, and she's shy with the soap. She wears right high boots with her breeches tucked in, and removing her Stetson, she considers a sin. She's kind of bow-legged, and one tooth is gone, and she's blind in one eye, and got a big scar on her arm. Well, let me tell you, fellers, if you're looking to fight, just ask her to dance on a Saturday night. If you see her in daylight, you'd surely swear you'd rather be kissed by a she-grizzly bear. But to see her at night is a terrible sight. Make a stout-hearted puncher fall over from fright. Yeah, she's about the worst female that you'll ever see. That god-awful creature is married to me.
Okay. You're up, Lloyd. Got time for another poem.
My wife says this one should be rated R.
Really?
Yeah. But there's no violence in it.
Oh, okay. And we're safe.
And there's no sex. And there's no swearing except the S word. And that stands for sheep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It goes like this. Some people say castrating calves is a matter of taste. Some do it slowly and others in haste. Some gently saw while others pull, while making a steer out of a bull. Now some have used hard rubber bands, don't want to get blood on their hands. Some use heavy tools that crush, and some cut them off straight. They're in such a rush. Now, lambs are another matter, you know. Those little round things so slick they grow, they slip and slide in their woolly sheath till you finally give up and use your teeth. And that's not the easiest thing to do, because you got to remember not to chew. And if your teeth aren't all in place, they'll slip and slide right through the space. You got your nose down in the wool, and you want to gag because your mouth is full. When through the ticks and the grease you wallow, you hold your breath, because you dare not swallow. When you finally do come up for air, you only got one instead of a pair. So back you go to grope for the one, and when you've toothed it, you're finally done. Now, it's true, calves shouldn't be done in haste, but it's when you do lambs that it's a matter of taste.
Oh, well. Only a shame that Robert Burns hadn't lived to hear that. Yeah. Gentlemen, it's great to have you here. We'll hope to see you again.
Mr. Carson, thank you very much.
Where are we going? Are we going to commercial?
Commercial?
Fred's having a contest to see if we're going to a commercial. We're going to a commercial.